welcome to the Top 10 List Show. I am taking the wheel tonight in hosting duties for this show. We're really glad y'all could join us. If you're not familiar with Top 10 List Show, this is a show where we get two comedians to assemble lists on their chosen topic, and then they pitch their list to us going from 10 to 1. And then tonight we have a special guest judge slash host slash comment reader joining us. It is Chris Emery.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm not Brian, I'm so sorry. Please keep watching for Sarah, though. You might be disappointed Brian's not here, but Sarah's still here. And she's like 75% of the show, so you gotta let her.
Oh boy. Anyway, so we'll be judging. Both of us will be judging each round, but we'll also pick on you guys in the audience to judge a round. So right now, if you want to judge a round, just I'm back in sack, baby. What's up, Dennis?
Yeah. What up, boy?
What up, boy? Yeah, so if you want to judge around, just I'm like I go on tangents every other second. Yes, anyways, put in the comments if you want to judge around. So I don't want to waste any more time without yes, that is a sharp haircut.
So, shameless self-promotion. Oh, but I mean, Dennis also agrees.
Oh my gosh, everyone loves your hair. It's the top 10 Chris hair show.
Yeah, my top 10 hairdos of the year. Definitely my swoopy Justin Bieber bangs back in high school.
Oh, yeah. Let's get that as a topic next time. Okay, let's introduce our guests. Very special guests. They are together tonight and for always, I believe. We have Skip Bacon and Gilbert Gonzalez.
No pressure. Together for always.
What are you doing?
Top 10 reasons to marry Skip Bacon.
Whoa.
Yes.
Pressure.
We are waiting for our first top 10 proposal. So if it happens to be tonight, the only person who will complain is Brian because he's not here and he would really love to cry at this. But
devastated to miss that. You're right. We should wait, Gilbert. We should wait for
Brian is an ordained minister. He actually married me in my life.
Yeah.
No, we are acutely aware of that. As a couple that Brian knows, we are aware he could marry us at any minute.
He tells everybody.
More than
I know. Yeah. I've been there too. Don't worry. Oh yes, Squirt Turtle loves ya. Anyway, so tonight's topic, Tina's got it, is rivalries. We're super interested to see what that really means to everyone in this room and on this platform. So, I think I explained the game a little bit, but also I want to let the guests know that in the show, you guys you'll take turns. I'll just pick one of you randomly to start and pitch, and then the other person will pitch and we'll judge it. But also you get each one switch, and a switch is where if you didn't win that round, you get to be like, sorry, I did win that round, and then you get the point, but you only get one of them each, and you can't use it on your number one, so use it before that, and the commenters will definitely let you know if you haven't used it. So I think that's about it. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we have not seen each other's lists. Okay, well, I saw one on his list, and it was an accident. But it was also on my list, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, so I started panicking.
Well, that's fun. No, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, full disclosure about what happened.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Megan has already thrown in an honorable mention. Neo versus Microweb.
Damn.
That's a good.
Wait, is this Debate Masters or Top 10 list?
I know.
What show am I doing?
Honestly, it's becoming more and more like Debate Masters. Like, the more like energetic the guests are and like passionate, it is becoming a debate, which is just, I don't know. This is maybe the original Debate Masters, if you could say.
Oh, gee, take that, Dana.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't me. Brian had the show around forever.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, let's start with you, Skip. What's at your number 10?
Okay, my number 10 is Sonic versus Dr. Robotnik. And listen, I don't know if you saw the new Sonic, but I did, and I'm super addicted to it. But also, Sonic is the only game that I keep in my Sega. I have other games. It's just the only game I keep in my Sega. And I also think that the Dr. Robotnik that was Jim Carrey was a really good. I think it's a good rivalry, and I think it's a solid number 10.
Nice. Okay, cool. I like it. You have a Sega right now?
Yeah, I do. It's my Sega Genesis that I used to rent from the video store when I was a kid. And then eventually they're like, we're just closing. This isn't a thing anymore. Do you want this Sega Genesis? And I was like, yeah, what's up with the Super Nintendo? So they are both in my living room.
Oh my
barely
God.
functioning.
That's
The same thing
so-
happened to me with a copy of Johnny English on DVD. Thank you, Hollywood Video.
Please take this.
Wow, I got 2 gaming systems and you got away with
Nice.
Johnny English.
Mr. Bean himself, being a spy.
You're some lucky kids.
Aw.
Lucky kids.
All right, love it. All right, Gilbert, what is your number 10?
All right. This is mostly for me, but I think that story's interesting. It's Basil versus Basil. So specifically, Basil II versus Basil the Cross-Eyed. Basil the Cross-Eyed, it was a 15th century Muscovite war. Basil the Cross-Eyed blinded Basil II so he could be king. And he was king for like a year, and then Basil II blinded him back. Even though he was blind, he was still badass. And he blinded him, and then he became king. And it was just like a blinding massacre rivalry, and it was awesome. Because you figure he got blinded, end of his career, right? No, he blinds the guy back, and he's already
Wow.
cross-eyed. That's like messed up.
Basil
Well,
Cross-eyed.
Sonic was from space. And he was a hedgehog, though.
Are we doing rebuttals?
Oh, are we doing rebuttals yet? That was a really good
No
story.
rebuttals.
So they were both named Basil?
Yeah.
Is that why they didn't like each other?
They were competing for the crown. So there was
Oh.
Basil the First, his son Basil the Second, and then that was his cousin Basil the Cross-Eyed.
They called him Basil the Cross-Eyed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Russian, so it was something different, but it translated to the Cross-Eyed.
There's no
And then
PC
Basil the
culture
Second
back
became
then.
Basil the Blind.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. This is very interesting because both your 10s are like just in totally different universes.
Yeah, space hedgehog versus.
Oh,
That's the-
wow.
Yeah.
I think this is Fresh First Bride.
That's honestly what I thought it was going to be.
I did too. But then I know him. I knew it. I was like, no, that'd be way too boring.
There's a
This is
couple
gonna be...
double entendre ones that I have, so
Did he marry Rosemary?
Oh my gosh.
Hey-oh.
I like this. I like this
I like the
angle.
way this is going. Yeah, this is good. This is good lead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna judge this round. This is just gonna be really selfish judgment because I like the Jim Carrey mustache. My dog has that mustache sometimes. He reminds me of Dr. Robotnik. So I'm gonna go with Sonic.
Nice.
I need a picture. They're gonna need an immediate picture of that dog with glasses on. The little dog.
I'll try. He won't stand it, but yeah, I'll try.
Oh my god. All right. I like
Awesome.
it.
All right.
All right.
So, since Skip went first last round, we will have Gilbert go first for your number 9 pick.
All right, my number 9, just straight up, anybody who knows, it's Goku versus Vegeta. Okay, classic rivalry. They would just like Vegeta came on the scene and was like, I'm the strongest. Goku had to go train, get bulkier, get swole, and he came back and he beat Vegeta. And ever since then, they were just like, Vegeta was like trying to chase that ring. He was like, yeah, I need to beat this guy. He never did, but it was epic for 12-year-old me. It was epic.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's still kind of epic for you, so that
Super
works.
fresh.
Yeah.
Super fresh for you. Very raw.
He was like that. A lot of that in there.
Ultimate. How long were they trying to go up against each other for? Was this like a really long
Oh my-
rivalry?
So like in one episode they would maybe like do one punch, and so you had to watch like 20 episodes for anything to happen. It was kind of frustrating. They were like about to fight and they'd be like, next time. You're like, oh, son of a.
Yeah.
I'm edging.
Yeah, exactly. It's like tantric fighting.
Yeah.
I think Sting likes the tantric fight.
Real energy.
Awesome. All right, Skip, what's your number 9?
Well, mine is super less intense than that, but only because I have no idea what show we're talking about at all. So I hope that they worked it all out in the end. But mine is equally as long running. It was Roadrunner and Coyote. I don't think it needs a ton of explanation. And I'll be totally honest, I was thinking about like Sonic and the games, and everybody's like, yeah, like Roadrunner and Coyote. And I was like, oh, yeah. Those guys went on it for a really long time. And as I understand cartoons, they are still currently going at it. And for the Geico commercials, I think they're still going at it on the Geico commercials. So pretty long running, but yet they've survived every feud. So I think it's a rivalry that, you know, still going, but survivable apparently. So that's my number 9. I never did this to it.
Yeah,
but
didn't have the intensity.
No, I didn't.
But they do. What I realized recently, because I just kind of watched an episode, I don't know where I was, but it was on, and I realized that it is a person going meep meep. Like it's not an effect or anything. It's like meep meep.
Yeah, literal. That's how they spell it out. Meep meep. It's literal meep meep. Yes, this is correct. But I'm pretty sure when the Roadrunner cars got the car horns that actually had the road. I don't know if you've ever opened up a Roadrunner. The car horn inside of a Roadrunner car has the actual Roadrunner on it, and you can get an edition of it that goes beep beep instead of an actual car horn. So I really like how far the Roadrunner character has gone with his marketing, and so far as cars will actually have a little Roadrunner horn inside going beep beep.
That's awesome.
Cool. I love this piece of trivia. All right, Chris, you're judging it, buddy.
Okay, 2 cartoons.
Yeah.
Classic rivalries. I have not watched much Dragon Ball Z. I do
Dragon Ball Z. That's what it is.
Yep.
I like the animation. I like the fighting. But I think I gotta go with Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. For my own.
And that's why I'm switching. I'm switching because that should have been higher. How are you going to put that at number 9? So I'm switching.
I'm okay with that. Doesn't hurt my feelings. He did this for his number 9, so I'm really worried about all the upcoming numbers. If this was a thing that came in at number 9, I have some very serious concerns. So I'm very okay with him using this right now. This is okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, coming out the gates with the switch.
I'm like trying to figure out how to say that it's switched, even though I already made a note that it was who won. It's just like, how does Brian do this?
He does notes and tech?
Yeah.
Oh, what a saint.
What a saint, man. I can't even figure it out. Anyway, so with that switch, Goku and Vegeta? Is that the name?
I believe it was Vagina.
Vagina. Goku and Vagina.
Vagina.
Like chicken vagina.
Like chicken vagina. I'm kidding. I have no idea who these people are.
Vagina.
All right.
Oh, Becky's calling for the switchback.
Switch back?
Yeah.
Are you going to switch it back, Skip?
But Angie is impressed with the switch already.
Oh, good.
I know, yeah. I am really okay with... I just worry about his level of passion going off the charts and him not having a switch up here in the... Like, I feel like I'll just use one of my switches to calm him down later at some point. I feel like you're going to be on your knees screaming for the next one. So, some concerns. We'll see.
Some tantric fighting, huh?
Tantric, the word of the night.
Yeah.
I believe edging was the word of the night. And
Yeah.
it was used to talk about a children's cartoon.
Hey, it's all right. I used to edge at Hey Arnold. You know it.
That football head.
Football head.
Gilbert's mom is watching this show.
I don't know for sure.
She always
She's fine.
watches.
What is edging?
She knows.
I don't know.
Wouldn't Wile E. Coyote edge when he would like go off the edge of the cliff?
Yeah, he was like,
And
and he
then-
would just like kind of be suspended in air, and you
Until he
know.
looked down, and that's when he came.
And you know.
Okay, now Gilbert's mom definitely knows what edging means. With that
Now
description.
she's gonna be like, "As you guys look so pretty," and that's all she's gonna have to be able to say about it. Or she'll make some random comment later, and we won't know what it's about for 3
Yeah,
days.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. Number 8, back to you, Skip. Wait, first let's get someone to judge.
I did
anyone
see Tim
Crump?
Crump. He
Cool.
mentioned it, but also Angie Rice threw her hat in the ring, I believe.
Cool.
But let me double check on that.
Well, let's have Tim judge this number 8. Tim, you're up, and Skip, go ahead.
Okay, this one I wasn't gonna put in until 2 other people were like, you know what'd be cool is Chuck Yeager versus the Sound Barrier, because I thought I was just a nerd for remembering who Chuck Yeager was, but it turns out he was a wildly important human, and he was the test pilot who broke the sound barrier. And
Oh.
if at least 2 other people remember who he was, I was going to put him on my list. So 2 other people remembered Chuck Yeager, the test pilot who broke the sound barrier. He's super important. And that's my, I mean, he went, it's Chuck, that's it. You broke the sound barrier. You win. That's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry he's only at number 8, kind of.
Like a real person. The first real
Yeah.
person. No, I guess we had Basil guys.
It's gonna make my top
Yeah.
it's gonna make my top 7 look real stupid. That Chuck Yeager came in at 8. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Well, that's fine. Let's all right, Gilbert, number 8.
All right, so I'm glad that's her nerdy one because it's another nerdy one for me, history-wise. It's Hannibal versus Scipio. Hannibal was a general from North Africa, and Scipio was a Roman general. And Hannibal went into Italy, taking elephants over the Italian Alps on like snowy mountains. He took elephants, and then wiped the floor with Italy a bunch of times. He beat an army that was twice his size, and he killed Scipio's dad. And then Scipio came back and beat him, and it was the difference between the center of Europe being Italy or North Africa. It was
Wow.
on the line,
Damn.
and Scipio came out on top, barely.
I
It
am
was
learning
epic.
so much.
I know. Can we do a new show that's like history lessons?
With
I'll-
Gilbert.
Yeah, because I need to get educated.
Well, okay, so this is what I'm curious. I'm
Go
curious,
ahead.
Gilbert, did these things just like, okay, did you already know about these rivalries and you were like, that's the topic we should do? Or did you look the rivalries up and learn about them?
It was like they were here in my psyche, and then we're like, hey, rivalries. And they're like, oh, boom.
Boom.
You know?
Wow.
We threw out some couple other ones. And so,
Yeah, okay, awesome. Love it. Must be nice to be smart.
Yeah.
there's a lot of junk
all
in
right.
here. It
No.
just floats around.
All of the stories I know that even compare to his, I
Too
got
much.
from drunk history while I was drinking. So like, it's not.
That's how you do it.
Mm.
That's how millennials
Yeah,
do
that's
it
how the
these
rest
days.
of us do it. Gilbert.
All right, Timothy Crump, you are voting. He's going to judge between Chuck Yeager versus a sound beer and Hannibal versus
Yeah.
Scipio. Is that what you said? Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already is like, how the fuck?
How am I
Yeah.
supposed to pick? Oh,
These
man.
were pretty intense real ones for our number 8.
Yeah.
Went from like cartoon fun time to like massive historical events.
At least
Sorry,
it
shit
wasn't
got real at number 8.
blinding anymore. That was the first. That was round 10. You're talking about blinding each other.
I will say, I do appreciate that it was a man versus like a physics itself, like the
Yeah.
sound barrier.
Basically, man versus
Pretty
space and time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I don't know how you get more epic than that. That's just me
I mean, mine was
making a case.
the crux of the entire Western civilization for the next 2,500 years. So
He was a test pilot. He changed all of aviation for history, but space travel may be
Oh,
possible
it's getting
because
spicy.
I'm just saying, are you speaking English with Latin, in there? Because the Italians went all the way to Britain.
I could
through
pick
Persia.
another language, Gilbert. I have other languages I could speak. Yeah. Uh-oh.
We're just showcasing this little feud you got going.
Love you too.
I have a question about just in the rivalries, like in general. Does it have to be a rivalry if both parties hate each other?
I was thinking that, and like if they were like real rivals, they competed pretty regularly.
Like the
'cause-
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. I feel like the Roadrunner was just like super chill.
right.
Didn't have any like animosity towards Wile E. Coyote, but maybe he did because he like hurt him a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, he would like go over to the edge and then be like, I'm safe. And then Roadrunner would be like right there,
Yeah.
and he'd be meet, and then he'd fall. That was a little malicious.
It is. Okay,
So-
you're right. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. But he
I
but
mean,
he
Chuck Yeager with the sound barrier.
Sound barrier was just
that was
minding its own
basically
business.
his mortal enemy his entire life
The
until he
sound
bested
barrier.
It,
The
so
sound barrier is a
Minding its own
bitch. I know
business.
that.
everybody
my
knows
ex-wife, the sound
barrier.
barrier.
Yeah, exactly.
So such a hoe.
That's my mother-in-law, the atmosphere.
And that's what you just
know,
wake
right?
up every
I don't know
morning.
that.
Today is the day I'm gonna bust it up, and that's your everyday. I think that's a major. Yeah, that's a major.
Oh, okay. Tim has been trying to vote this whole time. Sorry, sorry, Tim. Third time's a charm. He votes
Gilbert!
Gilbert.
Yay!
Gilbert's was a good one. I don't deny that. I'm not sad about your switcheroo, and I'm not sad about your wins.
My tactic is just to be loud and passionate.
Yeah, you do a lot of hand gestures and like watch. It's like you're a girl who freshly painted her nails, and then if you see on this chart to the left,
Oh,
the
yes.
mountaintop.
I know that feeling. Oh, Roadrunner is a
Oh,
sociopath.
Yeah, I believe it.
sociopath.
I believe
Okay.
it. I mean, I feel like all animals are
So,
sociopaths.
no, yeah.
I like
Your dog a
Scorpion was
Pomeranian?
like-
Because that's where I feel like that came from.
Round 8, no one I've heard of either. Oh wait, he's heard of the sound barrier. So at least he's heard of one part.
The
of
sound
barrier.
I've heard of that.
I haven't heard Chuck Yeager, but the sound barrier rings a bell. Okay.
Wasn't
Okay,
Chuck
good.
Yeager the guy that drew all the Looney Tunes cartoons?
No.
No, that was
Great.
Chuck.
It's another Chuck.
I don't know who that guy was, but he did not also in
Chuck
his spare time
Norris.
break the sound barrier.
Tex
Yeah, in
Avery.
his spare time. His side hustle was breaking the sound barrier.
Somebody knows it in the comments. Throw it out there.
Yeah.
Somebody does.
Who's
Okay.
the Chuck
All right.
from the Looney Tunes?
Yeah, we need to know.
Chuck
All right.
Lorre? No, that's not
Number
it.
7. We got number 7, and I think it's Gilbert who gets to pitch first.
Come on now.
Okay, again, man, I'm really nerdy. I'm finding out. Sometimes I surprise myself.
What?
This one, I'm actually a belligerent in this conflict, so it's a bit personal for me. It's PC versus console.
Okay. I got no horse in that race. I'm fine.
So there's a big divide because when you're on the PC, you can do whatever you want. You can customize anything, and you can like do crazy things and get mods and stuff like that. And then people who do consoles, they get all the cool stuff, but they don't have to do anything about it. They just put a disc in, and then they play, and it doesn't take any effort, and they get the worst of everything, but they get most of it, and it's just BS. So PC is superior. There is a rivalry, but it's kind of not a real rivalry, so I apologize for that because PC is obviously superior. So
Wait, and it's PC versus what?
console, so
A
like
console.
Xboxes, PlayStations,
Sega's.
Nintendo's, Segas, yeah, all inferior.
Oh. Uh-oh.
You
I
get-
like
Like I
that
said-
you then even went beyond and picked which one you think wins in your own pick. It's just so
Yep.
meta.
I mean,
All right, Skip, what is
Yeah.
your number 7?
I guess I have a horse in this particular race. It's Catholics versus Lutherans, and here's the thing.
Wow.
Here's the thing about this is that I know it's a real rivalry because some people, I don't know, I'm super into the Catholic stuff because I do it professionally.
there's a
So I
Jesus
have,
around.
there's not a Jesus, no, there's like 17 Jesuses. Don't look too hard. None of them have nipples. But I think that when an entire denomination, aka Catholics, comes up for I'd say quite a snide little nickname. I don't know if you've ever heard this, that Catholics call Lutherans the Diet Coke of Catholics.
Oh my
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's
god.
ever heard that. But there are T-shirts to that effect that are sold at Catholic conferences, and if that's not a rivalry, I don't know what is. Like if you're slamming another religion by calling them the Diet Coke of you, I think
my
that's pretty intense.
Can I ask a question though? Are they aware of this?
Oh, Lutherans are super
Okay.
aware of it. Lutherans are super aware of it, and then they're always coming back with different stuff about what they're allowed to do and what Catholics aren't allowed to do and what they can get away with. And we're like, it's cool, be Diet Coke if you want to, bitches. So like, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy rivalry, and I don't like being on either side of that. But yeah, it's real. It's real.
Oh.
I just want to say real
versus
quick.
Catholics.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's-
One of mine was going to be Catholics versus Christians versus Christians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty valid one. Are you
Okay.
even Christian, bro? Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
That's pretty good.
Wait, what do you do,
Really?
Skip? You said professionally? You're a professional Catholic or what?
Yeah, professionally work as a Catholic theologian. It's why I also do stand-up comedy because it is
Oh.
hysterical. So yeah.
Damn. Okay, cool.
What I do
All right,
professionally.
Catholic. This is my vote. Catholics versus Lutherans. Fun. PC versus console. These are things I all know about. I know about these things. I really like the religious feuds. I'm gonna go with the Catholics
Oh.
versus Lutherans.
I
Nice.
think religious feud is a very kind way of saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's very generous of you.
All right. Okay, we're moving on. Right on to number 6.
Ooh.
And this will be Chris's vote. Not that this should inform any of your picks or anything. But
Cartoons, please.
Cartoon.
That close.
Oh man. Okay, we're back to Gilbert to pitch first.
All right. This is Michelangelo versus Leonardo. And I know what you're saying. Isn't it Raphael versus Leonardo? But no, I'm talking about the actual artists. Because they had beef. They actually like worked around the same time and they hated each other because like Leonardo was like hot shit and then Michelangelo starts coming up. He's like the hot young guy. And
Was he?
yeah, so they were both working on each side of a church and they couldn't even finish it because they couldn't just focus on work without hating each other.
Oh my god.
And there was points too where on the street, Michelangelo would be like, "Hey, Leonardo, what's up? Hey, have you heard about this one horse in this one city over there that nobody finished? God, that's stupid, huh? Who wouldn't finish art?" Knowing he was talking about Leonardo, and then Leonardo was like,
Snap.
"You know what you can do? You can cover up that David's dick on that big statue you did, and just cover it all up." And so yeah, they hated each other, and they competed for the same like patronage to like do art and stuff like that. So it was rough. 1500s,
Alright.
15th century.
Man, that's super hot.
That's pretty cool.
I like that his comeback was, you know what you can do? Just go cover up that dick that you made, bro.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be a mad burn if you were an artist, for sure.
It's probably like that big.
Right, if I had to guess, which I definitely thought about it as a Catholic a couple times. It probably was real big.
What, David's wiener?
Yeah, that big statue, like that 15-foot statue or whatever.
Oh, so
So in comparison, but
Like-
relatively
but to scale.
To scale,
To scale, yeah. It's
grower,
Okay,
not
to
a
scale or
shower.
not to scale. Catholics had little to work with, okay? So I was using what I had to go with.
The rivalry continues.
Deep. It's real
All
deep.
right. Okay, what are you gonna put up against that, Skip?
All right, this is probably the only one of mine that I'm a little heated about. The other one that I'm heated about is, I don't know, it's going to make it seem dumb that I'm heated about this one. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I was born in Indianapolis about a week before the Baltimore Colts became the Indianapolis Colts. These are National Football League teams. And it is because of this that my number 6 is the New England Patriots versus basic human decency, because those people are some of the worst people on the planet. And I don't just mean like as an organization, but like as individuals, because if you're a part of an organization that is that okay with just rampant lying and cheating and just basic indecency against humankind, then you too have obviously sold a part of your soul to be a part of this organization. And it's just unbelievable. Basic human decency versus the New England Patriots.
Oh my God.
Just,
I agree 100%.
Boy, who hurt you?
the New
Tom
England
Brady
Patriots.
hurt
That's what I'm
you.
saying.
Deflategate, Sarah.
Deflategate. No, I'm not a fan or
Amongst
anything.
other things, when we got our new stadium, they came into our new stadium and said they're pumping in extra sound to make it too noisy for us to play. And they had the Indianapolis Colts investigate it. Turns out we we're just happy fucking fans. And then the New England Patriots actually got charged with pumping in extra sound into their stadium because they're a bunch of losers and nobody was cheering for them, and they ended up getting fined. That's the kind of people we're talking about here.
It
Oh,
takes one to know one.
Tim
Yeah.
Crump flex the Patriots.
Go Patriots! Oh man, and
Yeah.
he's so nice. I would never even.
I know.
Exactly. See, that's what you
Insidious.
think they're good people.
Wait,
and then all of a
where's
sudden
Mike
you're like,
LaRosa? Mike LaRosa's a big Patriots fan too. I wonder if
Is
he's
he?
watching.
Oh man.
very disturbing news. Very disturbing news.
Dennis is calling the GOAT.
Whoa, everyone loves.
Tom Brady calling the GOAT
Bandwagon.
if you cheated in a game. It's just it can't be.
Yeah,
They videotaped other people's
Constantly.
locker rooms. They literally videotaped for whatever purposes. I'm not calling them out on why they did it. I'm just saying.
Skip, do you know about this? Antonio Brown.
Oh.
Do you still hate the Patriots?
Yeah, I do still hate the Patriots because I still have a soul. So yeah,
Okay, got you.
still not a fan. Still not
It
a fan.
really sounds like the rivalry is actually Skip versus the Patriots.
They're doing the Patriots. Just trying to save people's souls so they can watch some good American football without having to sell
Hey,
a part of
Donna
their soul.
didn't even know what was going on, but your passion for this role was so compelling that she's on
Good
board.
person.
Oh my
Good
gosh,
person,
I
Donna.
love that quote. Whatever she's going on about, I'm on board.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I live my life.
That's all in my mind.
I love the candor.
Chris, this is your vote.
This is easy for me. I like swords better than nunchucks. So no, just kidding.
I was like, wait, what? Where?
It's a terrible thing.
I like Gilbert's pick. I don't know much about their rivalry. I know a little bit about their art, but I didn't know much about the rival bit. I have to agree with Skip about the fucking Patriots fans. They're so annoying. Not
To be fair, I agree with that.
Rosa, but everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was in the last Super Bowl? It wasn't the Patriots for the first time in a long time, right?
Yeah.
It
was the Niners and right? No.
Kansas City and the Patriots?
Not the Patriots. Skip, do you know?
It was not the Colts. I can tell you who it wasn't.
It was on the
It's
Raiders.
not the Colts. I tap out pretty early on into the postseason as a
Not the
Colts
Colts,
fan.
not the Raiders.
We solicit the audience for questions like this because we
Yes,
did get
we don't
answered.
know.
It was Chuck Jones. Was the
Chuck
Chuck
Jones.
Looney Tunes. So
Chuck
pe-
Jones.
this-
The
Nice.
audience, they're smart peeps.
They are.
They know what's up.
They're
Oh, okay. It was 49ers and Chiefs.
yes, okay, that's yeah. All right. Wow. I should have known that. My dad's a Niners fan.
That's why nobody watched it.
Yeah. Sam says I hated it.
Yeah.
Nah, Sam. No.
Oh man. All right. Well, good. The human decency wins number 6.
Woo-hoo! Especially if they keep getting whatever. It's fine. Tom Brady
Okay.
can suck it.
So far, it is, if I have done this right, Skip has 3 points, Gil has 2.
Nice.
3-2, ladies and gents. All right, number 5. Oh, we'll need, who else said they wanted to vote?
Angie Rice.
Angie Rice, you are
Unless
voting.
you're a Patriots fan, then you don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get to watch the show at all. Log off, please.
Except for Tim.
Log on.
Except for
Just
Tim.
self-reflection. Except for Tim.
All right, so number 5, this one goes back to Gilbert, right?
Right.
Does it?
Oh, Skip
No,
goes first.
Skip. Sorry.
That's me. Okay. This one I had to put at number 5, like, so it was right in the middle. Because I think it's like an all-time rivalry. It just doesn't like impact my life that much. But it's cats versus dogs. Like that's just a common. I don't know. I think it's probably one of the all-time rivalries. And in my household, at least, we have dogs. We have cat. Well, we have Pomeranians. I should be specific. And we have a cat, and they're pretty cool with each other. And you would think, oh, there's no rivalry. And then every once in a while, all 3 of the dogs see the cat, and they're like, "Hey, don't we sometimes eat you?" And then they just take off and they try to eat the cat, and they will do it for a day or 2, and they do it hard. Like you think she's probably not going to make it this time. And then they'll go months without ever being like, oh, I don't know, I think she's cool or whatever. And then all of a sudden something just switches on in them and they're just like, no, yeah, we're supposed to eat you for sure. And so I know for a fact it's a hardcore. I know it. It's deep down inside them because Pomeranians, those are barely dogs, but it's inside of them that they should be versus cats. So I know that's a feud that's very real, very real.
Do you wait? You said you have 3 Pomeranians.
I have 2 Pomeranians. I have 3 dogs, and if you do the math on that, that's 2 Pomeranians too many. But I do have 3 dogs total.
Wow.
That's cute.
And honestly, this rivalry extends to humans. Cat people versus dog people. That's a huge rivalry as well.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself that it's not. I don't care who wins, right? I'm just voting on if it's a good rivalry or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what this is about.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like I keep like trying to pick like and then who would win that thing? And, like,
Yeah, right,
distracting myself.
I know. I do that too. It's like naturally I would probably be like, "Oh, I want Gilbert to win another point because he's not in the lead." I feel bad. I have a lot of empathy. I'm just a very giving, kind person.
Super sweet.
But yeah, you got to pick between the topic.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gilbert, what are you putting against that?
Well, I'm putting Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Whoa.
That was your number 5.
This is my number 5, and I think this one has lulled a little bit, but back in the day, this was it. This was basically like fans of fantasy versus like intellectuals, and like whose space was superior. Like, do we want mysticism or do we want like cold hard facts?
Wait,
And
who were the intellectuals?
Star Trek people. It was all
Sorry.
about science.
Sorry.
But in Star Wars, we got Jedis and monsters and droids and pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Star Trek's like, scanning things. So you would just like hate on each other. And it was intense, but we're all nerds, so it didn't get that intense. But On the
Right.
keyboards, it would get intense. On the message boards.
I just want to see a show where you do episodes of Star Trek. Scanning.
Like here's Star Trek,
Scanning.
like Captain, we found a being, and then Star Wars is like,
Scanning.
we found a being. Pew, pew.
Right.
And that's the difference.
It's obviously.
Yeah, those
It's
are two
intense.
great readings. I mean, I've barely watched either of those, but I feel like that's a really good impression of what they're both all about. It's just like a reading on like, Captain, we have this. Captain!
Yes, exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
I think she's Sam.
That's what it.
I think she's Sam.
And where do
All
you
right.
stand in that argument?
Well, these are really good rivalries. Angie,
Yeah.
I hope Angie's ready to.
I know Angie. Good
Oh
luck.
no, it's Angie who has to do
She's
it.
already freaking out. She was like, "Oh no, you didn't!" And then she was like, "How am I going to pick? How am I going to pick?"
Cats versus dogs, which is a stronger
Those are-
rivalry.
I mean, cats and dogs. Like, there's a
It's-
movie called that.
There is.
I
There's
haven't
probably
seen the
multiple.
movie yet. Star Trek versus Star Wars, but
There's also several Star Trek and Star Wars movies, but none of them are verses.
oh wait, Dana just schooled me at least. I just rewatched the movie Fanboys, where the Star Wars nerd boys did some Trekkies. So yeah,
Yep.
it's out there. It's definitely out there.
Real.
It's out there.
It's very real. Oh, yeah.
Square
Nobody
Turtle
has
has a
ever messed
comment
it up.
about Star Wars has brother kissing sister.
Yep.
That's my favorite comment of the night. Star Wars has brother kissing sister, though. Uh-oh.
Yeah, is it pro
Are you-
or
See,
for?
I still don't know.
where that
Yeah.
falls.
What side
If it was
are
Star
you on?
Trek, he'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm scanning to see if I should kiss my sister."
Yeah.
Star Wars is like, pew, pew, mwah. It's just in the action.
Captain, you want me to kiss my sister?
Scanning.
Okay, are you ready for the vote? Are you ready for the vote?
Yeah.
Voted, okay,
Okay,
yeah.
Angie says, my vote is Star Wars versus Star Trek, though. That is a legit
Oh, she did
rivalry.
that.
It's,
Oh,
It's-
live
it's
long and prosper.
Here you go, Angie. Gotcha.
is everyone doing it?
I can barely do it.
No matter what hand you use.
Ooh,
Have you ever
kissing
done that?
sister.
Have you ever done
Oh,
this, Sarah?
no.
Yeah, look, Chris
Live
and I are
long
doing the
prosper.
weird
Oh,
little.
no.
Oh, I have to do
What do
it.
you
Anyone is
see?
screenshotting
Oh,
this, I
okay.
don't want to be a part of it.
Oh,
Ooh,
I see a steeple.
I see your mom's vagina.
Oh, that came out of the
Okay, that was a Star Wars versus Star Trek. Gilbert won that round.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
That's number
number 5.
five.
That made it a 3-3 game, I believe.
3-3 game right now, everybody.
We're getting hot and heavy.
Oh my gosh, so
Close,
crazy.
close.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to keep it on the screen, but I have to pee.
Okay.
So just keep it right here. Don't comment. No, just kidding.
Don't comment.
Listen.
No one's gonna see it. Okay. Well, this is
Didn't.
fine because this round I am judging. So, and we will start with Gilbert.
All right. Well, because of what he mentioned earlier, I was kind of hoping for Chris on this one. It's Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd, because that was just that it was one of those things where, like, unlike the Roadrunner, who was kind of like aloof, Elmer really wanted to kill Bugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so-
Uh-huh.
The song about
It
it.
was a
Right,
sport.
and then it culminated in one of the greatest pieces of art of all time, The Barber of Seville,
That's true.
and
Oh.
where, like, that was just classic Bugs and Elmer, and it ends with, like, Bugs dressing like a Viking and then carrying Elmer Fudd and then dropping him off a cliff. It was great.
Oh.
It was great.
And that's how it ends. Like he.
Well,
killed
yeah,
all-
because he dresses up like a Valkyrie, and then Elmer Fudd falls in love with them, and so they get married. And then instead of carrying Bugs, he carries Elmer, and then he carries him upstairs and then drops him.
Wow. That's tragic.
It's ridiculous.
I always liked how Bugs would dress up as things just to like trick him, and it would always work.
See?
Yeah,
So,
this one
Chris,
works hard.
this is a bummer that you missed this pitch, but it's definitely geared towards you. It's Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd.
Oh, wow. That just happened to be on the list.
When you-
Whose was this?
Gilbert.
Oh, and then Skip had Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. You guys are perfect for each other.
Oh yeah. This is.
Oh my god, we totally are.
It's still up there.
It is still up there. Okay, all right.
All
Is it my
right.
turn?
Yes. What are you doing?
I brought in. I got a bunch of input from people, and this was an overarching theme that I got from everyone, which was caffeine versus sleep. Like, people were like, oh, is it like cold brew versus regular coffee? And people are like, oh, or like energy drinks versus, and they're like tea. I'm like, you guys are just all talking about ways to compensate for the fact that you don't sleep or fight your sleep with caffeine. It's caffeine versus sleep. I'm a cold brew person personally. I intake around 294 milligrams of caffeine every day between 2 and 3 o'clock. But yeah, if you get it too close to sleep, it not only is a rival with sleep, it makes sleep super weird, where you have those like Law and Order nightmares, and then they turn into like Nazi ones, and then all of a sudden like Mulder and Scully are there, and then you're like, oh, I can't drink my cold brew this close to bed, and then you're just ugh.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, but whatever that is for you, if it's a 5-hour energy, or if it's just like a regular, my doctor's like, maybe just a nice cup of tea for some energy. I'm like, you are
Yeah,
such a
won't do.
loser.
Yeah.
No, cold brew. So.
You heard it here first. Doctors are losers.
Doctors are losers.
Such a
telling
Skip
us-
Bacon.
Drinking his little tea
to
with
say?
like 10 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh my
Like, sir,
gosh.
You need at least 300 to make it through the day. So it's caffeine and sleep. Anytime you do your own caffeine, but
Yeah,
caffeine
this
and
makes
sleep.
sense. You know, some people do those coffee naps. Have you ever tried that?
Where you down a bunch of coffee and then take a nap?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Every day around 3 o'clock. I didn't mention that. At 3 o'clock is when the nap starts.
Okay, so you stop drinking your coffee at 3 o'clock and you're fine to go to bed later?
No, I only drink it. I drink it at 2 o'clock. I open a can of cold brew. It has 294 milligrams of caffeine. It's nitrogen infused, so you gotta down it while it's still nitrogen infused. You down it, and then you have like a cookie or whatever, and or like 3, whatever. It doesn't matter, Gilbert.
You
I think
have
she
a
gets the
cookie
gist.
at 3 o'clock
And
every
then
day? I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I want to eat a cookie every day at 3 o'clock.
Cold brew, and then I take a quick nap, and then sometimes it goes till 5:30, and then I wake back up and I carry on with my night.
Wait, what is this?
This
caffeine
is
naps?
wild. Okay, so you
Yeah.
drink coffee and then you immediately go to sleep, like if you can take a nap,
Best
and when
case
you wake
scenario.
up, you're like, like everything
Yeah,
is
'cause
amazing.
I've been asleep for 2.5 hours, and I have
Yeah.
a ton of caffeine in my blood.
Because it takes a while for the caffeine to kick in. So by the time you wake up, it's like, bam.
Ooh,
ready.
let's have a quesadilla, and then it's great.
Wait,
Cookie, quesadilla.
cookies, naps, and quesadillas?
Cookie, coffee,
How are
quesadilla.
you not living the best life ever?
I think I might be. I don't think anyone would debate that I might not. I
Oh
definitely
my
could be.
God.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that one. And this is my vote.
Yeah,
And
Tina says she wants to live your life, Skip.
It's good life. I don't regret anything.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I'm just like I need to make some changes in my life. Yeah, these are both really, really good picks because I love that Bugs Bunny is a little slut sometimes for Elmer Fudd, and then he kills him.
I know Jennifer said, that
Almost
Sleep was the winner. She said Bugs
Sleep.
was a
Sleep.
cross-dresser for
You
sure.
should be sleeping.
Yeah, Bugs was always showing off his cute little legs and stuff.
Yeah.
He was nice.
In an instant, too. No question.
Pull his fur up.
He
to
wasn't
reveal
nervous.
A leg.
Confident.
But man, oh man, I'm sorry. This one, I gotta do the caffeine versus sleep because it's just so. Are you drinking coffee right now? What is that?
No, you really have to hydrate the rest of the day. It's really important to that process I mentioned from earlier that you hydrate the rest of the day, like a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Hydration. Okay, I'm going caffeine versus sleep on this one.
Nice.
That's a good thing. You don't think about it. It's just not something you think about. And now I'm gonna think about it for a long time.
Yeah. Donna's here for it. Skip
Donna's,
got a win.
dude, she's
Donna.
she loves you, Skip. You got a new fan.
Yeah.
I love friend.
All right, we are moving into number 3. This is Chris's round to judge. In
Oh, wait, I gotta take a poop. I'll be right back. No.
coffee poops.
I want to talk about
Coffee
yeah,
poop.
quesadillas.
Yeah,
and
make time for that.
coffee.
Usually around like 5:45.
Yeah.
Barely made it to the show tonight. Barely made it to the show.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I was supposed to present like at work, like online the other day, and I was gonna fill in for someone like last minute, and I was like, oh no, I can't, I have to go, and I was like, and then luckily she got back on Teams, so it's like, I'm back, I'm gonna do the presentation. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. Everybody at my work just thinks I'm really busy during nap time. I'm like, oh, sorry, I missed your call. I was on like so many other calls. I was napping after my coffee.
I was fighting the Lutherans.
Banging down our doors.
All right. Number 3, Chris is judging, and we will start with Skip.
This one was a new one to me because I thought, I assumed that everyone who had good grammar just automatically did this, and I didn't realize that it's not a rule anymore. So now that's what made me realize it was an actual rivalry, is that the Oxford comma versus poor grammar, because apparently you don't have to use the Oxford comma anymore. It's not required. It's apparently been written out of the official rules. I don't know what they're teaching in school anyway, but between like Common Core math and Oxford comma just out the window. So apparently you don't have to use it. And I only recently discovered this because I work in Catholic publishing. And they were like, well, if you're going to use the Oxford comma. And I was like, what's that? Why would you not use the Oxford comma? And they were like, you don't have to. And I was like, what? Are you a good person with proper grammar who wants to be successful in this world? And you will use the Oxford comma. But apparently it is quite a feud between, I don't know, idiots and smart people, that you don't have to use the Oxford comma. So the Oxford comma versus poor grammar, because that's the only other option if you're not using the Oxford comma.
Lots of mistakes happen when the Oxford comma is thrown out the door. I'm just going to say
it's unbelievable.
Is that the comma when you're listing something and you get to the and or portion? And you're saying to use that comma at that point?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's all I was taught.
Yes, because it's proper and it's the only thing that makes sense. I wish I had a terrible example of it, but I don't currently have, an example of it.
Here's the difference. It's like saying, I saw the strippers, Stalin, and Putin, or I saw the strippers, Stalin and Putin.
Yes, exactly.
You have them stripping. You don't want to see that.
That's the perfect example.
It is. Always remember that.
He didn't even have to look it up. He was just like, who would be hanging out? And it would be important to distinguish between the two. Strippers, Stalin, and Putin.
Yeah. I want to see your search history, Gilbert.
I told you, just stuff flying around in his head.
Constantly.
You got a little text thread with Stalin, Putin, and the strippers.
And the strippers. Stalin, Putin, and Candy.
Oh, you got people all for the Oxford comma.
Good.
Yeah, it's absurd that it's not required.
I mean, so it might not even be a real rivalry.
It's a rivalry. Oh,
Oxford
trust
comma.
me.
We have the
People are like,
fans.
is it really that necessary? I'm like, I don't know if you want to speak with. I can't even.
Comma por vida.
That's the second one. That's probably the one that I get the most. Next to the New England Patriots and human decency, is the Oxford comma and not the Oxford comma. So, yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh.
I didn't know that was an issue, that people were not using that.
Yes, it is a real issue. And I literally had to mention it to someone. I was like, hey, in that email you sent, you didn't, like, it kind of looks like that all went together. And she was, and then another person who was like a professor weighed in and was like, hey, Skip, I don't want to overstep my bounds, but did you know that technically we don't have to use that anymore? And I was like,
oh my God.
Ellen, what? And Ellen schooled me and told me that,
But who's like, oh, thank goodness we don't have to use it.
I know, it's
like,
so
how much
weird.
time are you saving from hitting that other
And then I learned at the same time that apparently after a period, you don't have to put in 2 spaces anymore either. And that they both went out the window at the same time.
Yeah, that was, that's,
who were these bothering?
What that writing, when you were writing a paper and you had to do a double space.
Yeah.
Yeah, MLA.
Yeah, the MLA format, I think. Yeah.
I did APA format, and so I'm legit. I'm correct.
You were just trying to fill space on a page.
How many characters? You didn't say letters. You said how many characters.
That goes on to something.
Yeah. That is what's happening.
This might be the way that we can distinguish between the two types of people in this
When
country.
you use an Oxford comma, Angel gets her wings.
Oh my God.
Right. People don't know that it's called the Oxford comma.
Irregardless.
Irregardless.
Oh yeah.
See, this is the kind of bullshit that's going on, and I think it started with the Oxford comma. Personally, my mom would. Oh my gosh, this would.
Damn.
Wait.
I think it started with the Oxford comma, and then irregardless, and a third thing I could think of.
Hey guys.
I was trying to make a list where there was gonna need a comment.
I just want to say, I think for all intensive purposes, we should get back on track. So.
You guys see what he did there? Intensive purposes.
Oh, intensive purposes.
Intense and poor. See, now I'm afraid there are people who don't get it. Now I'm afraid there are people who are like, yeah, he's right. We should get going again. I'm like, no, it's intense and you know what? Oh, remember that pun you made about intense and purposes?
Oh boy. Okay, now we're getting into the weeds here. I'm sorry.
What time is it?
I know we do have another show after this. Snake Tank, stick around for a little shameless plug there. But okay, we got Skip's pick was Oxford comma versus poor grammar, and now we need to hear from Gilbert. What you got?
All right, this was in the early mid '90s. There was something called the Bit Wars, and it was basically Nintendo versus Sega.
Ooh.
This was rough. It was on TV, it was on the radio, it was everywhere. And it was the trying to get 16 bits into a machine, which was thought of as impossible. The Sega did it, and then Nintendo fired back and did it too with the Super Nintendo. And it was like Sonic and Mario duking it out constantly. It was intense. It was it was even called the Bit Wars. Like people were losing their lives. Possibly.
Maybe. We don't know that they were not.
I just watched, there's a documentary on Netflix about like the video game industry and how it was moved. And so I just learned about that whole thing that you just talked about.
And I just want to be really clear. He has not seen that, and he just knows this information.
You just knows about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make it really clear that this is not pop knowledge he has in his head from a no offense, Chris, because I didn't even know about it. But yeah, he just has it in there. Just has it in there ready for like your Christmas party with your company office thing. And he's
oh my god. That's great. I think it's a great trait to have.
Square Turtle thinks you doubled up on consoles, son.
Well, you see,
well,
two different things.
They are because the
very
console.
different. One is no longer happening, for one.
No, yours is specific to the Bit War, not just the ongoing, like,
not a preference.
not like Sega versus Nintendo, like in general, but this.
No, Sega does not make consoles anymore. They barely make games. This
Damn.
is,
Damn, this is you, Chris.
I gotta go with Oxford comma. I mean, that's, and I'm literally placating the audience. Everyone was so up and I Oxford comma.
True, they would.
And I did just watch this thing, and it did seem like a big deal, but then at the same time, it didn't.
I did kind of want to know like how dark that documentary got because I wanted to watch it, but then I was like, maybe a bunch of people got murdered over all this, and I don't want to know.
No, it was literally just about video games, and like they got too violent, and then this happened, and now there's a rating system, and it was just explaining how video games got to this point in our life.
Good. That doesn't sound sad at all because you never know with those Netflix documentaries. You're never going to eat meat again, or not without thinking about it a little bit, or whatever. It could just ruin your life. Is what I'm saying. So I'm glad to know.
Yeah. This one's so super sweet. There's no dark.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
this sounds like a really low key feud.
Mm-hmm.
All right, look at the score here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip has 5. Gil has 3. There's literally no way that Gilbert can win this, but you could tie if you win the next two.
Actually, just for the fun of it, I actually vote for Gilbert that last round. Because I did watch that documentary. I don't vote Skip. I vote Gilbert. So now what's the score?
I don't know if I can take it.
Also, I will take it very personally if you take. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
It's tied now. If that's really how you're voting.
Yeah, I had a moment of clarity.
1, 2, 3, 4 versus 4.
Wow.
Wowie zowie.
Anybody's game now.
Now it's anybody's game.
He's just mentally marking that down. Thanks, Chris. I think you just made my night worse no matter how this goes.
All right, we have a number 2 coming up. Oh, did anyone else want to vote by chance? By chance, my pretties, do you want to vote?
You can make Sam vote. Why doesn't Sam vote? Can you just make a person vote?
We can, yeah. As long as we know that they're actually active and watching, because we don't want to have to wait for them.
He bakes a lot of stuff. He could be busy right now.
Okay.
Wait, I'm out of Beck's will for some reason.
Oh no.
The Oxford comma situation. Comma, Chris comma.
Yeah. I just wanted the game to have stakes.
I know. That's what I do too. I'm like, but
I wasn't thinking about the score.
It's all right. We all love the Oxford comma regardless. Irregardless.
Irregardless. Ooh, no.
Okay. Oh, I have not seen this person on the stream before, so I'm going to go. Sam Gonzalez wants to vote. Jennifer, Stefan, you can vote next time. Let's just get Sam on there.
Perfect.
So Sam will be voting.
This one isn't going to be fair because it's your brother, but I think he would make an impartial.
You suggested him.
I did. I did.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Oh, that's the same. Okay, perfect. Yes,
Okay, got it.
awesome. So number 2, Gilbert, you start us off.
All right. Well, when I make these lists, they're just for me. So this is number 2. It's Link from The Legend of Zelda versus Ganon, also from The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, that rivalry has started in the 80s and it's still going on.
Sure.
They never make, they rarely give Link a new villain to fight. They're always fighting. They just always fight. It's always him or Link, Ganon, and Zelda. And she's just kind of watching. She's not really part of it. It's the two guys just digging it out for her love or whatever, or Triforces.
Whatever.
And she doesn't even care. She really doesn't care. She's like, "Meh, whatever."
As long as she gets the rule, she's fine. Whoever she rules with, that's incidental.
That's kind
So
of
it's
cool.
really-
I like that. Like independent
These
woman,
two guys.
like whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Lots of video game stuff on Gilbert's side.
He also had cartoons.
Cartoons,
okay?
video. So lots of graphic design type of stuff. Then a lot of
I
like
try to do
ideas.
sports.
Huh?
Yeah.
And ideas.
I try to do sports, but I'm not a sports guy, so I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not going to even pretend.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's very like there's tangible and then there's like conceptual. We have like Skip's got all the concepts and like the feelings and the
Oxford comma, and then human decency and those types of things.
Yeah, I like the intangibles that Skip has had
yeah.
versus
It's
tangibles.
Philosophical about my
It's a
top
very
10
good way
list.
to look at the world, I believe.
Cartoons.
Until the end, I think. My last 2 are pretty tangible.
Oh, segue. Here we go.
All right. Well then, let's hear it.
Okay, my number 2 is Coke versus Pepsi. I don't really think it's a rivalry because I think we are perfectly clear that Coca-Cola is better. And if the one thing I'm happy about not having to go in restaurants is that I don't have to say, "Oh, do you guys have Coke?" And then they say, "No, we have Pepsi. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "No, I want water. That's terrible. Who would want a Coke? No, I obviously don't want a Pepsi. It's just terrible." Or it's just anyway. So Coke versus Pepsi. I just want to note it for the record that I also love RC Cola, especially if it comes on tap. Which it does at Tank House. Does anyone else know that? Whoop whoop. RC Cola on tap at Tank House. But everyone else, Coke versus Pepsi, I think is been going on for some reason for all of time. I don't know how it's lasted this long. Oh, actually, I do. I found out recently that one of my favorite restaurants switched to Pepsi from Coke. And I was like, the reason I went there was because they had Coke. It's definitely how I choose my restaurants.
Wow.
And they were like, "Oh, we switched to Pepsi." And I was like, "Why? I thought you were cool people." And they were like, "Oh, it's way cheaper." And I was like, that makes sense because it tastes like piss. So yeah, it's Coke versus Pepsi. And I don't think, and it's not for everybody back in the Midwest was like, "Oh, do you mean like whether you say Coke or pop or soda?" Because back in the Midwest, at least in Indiana, when you order a drink, you say, "Hey, I'll have a Coke," and they'll say, "What kind?" And then you say Sprite. And that's just like a thing that happens in Indiana. Other places are like, "What kind of soda do you want?" or "What kind of pop do you want?" Some places it's "What kind of Coke?" That is not what I mean. That is a different feud, a different rivalry, whatever, different decision-making scale. I just mean Coca-Cola versus Pepsi.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's
lot.
funny is when you were talking and you said, obviously Coke, Pepsi's the worst, Chris made a face and my heart made a face too because I think I like Pepsi.
See, mine is because of wild cherry Pepsi versus cherry
Oh.
Coke.
Oh, no, wild cherry Pepsi is a different thing altogether because then we're getting into things like Diet Dr. Pepper for some reason is delicious. And I can't explain that. I'm just saying Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. If I want a cola, Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. The
Yeah,
other
I
ones
know.
are their own things, like Sprite and Sierra Mist. And
I don't think there's
I'm not
one
talking
that's
about
better.
the companies as a whole. I'm
I think
talking
they
about
taste like-
Coca-Cola and
They
Pepsi.
taste like cola.
Different. Yeah, I don't know. My
Like
whole
I would
family.
drink a Sunny Select cola. Or anything.
Bubba Cola.
Like,
there's
it
one
all
in
tastes the
Indiana you
same.
can get from Save a Lot called Bubba Cola. It's delicious.
Oh.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Bubba Cola is delicious.
Bubba
And if you're-
Cola! Give me that Bubba Cola.
For college
Bubba
students.
want another cola.
Kind of sounds Italian. Bubba Cola. Can I have it? Bubba Cola.
I ordered a Bubba Cola and fucking tobacco.
Give me Bubba Cola. I smack your face. All right.
Very nice.
Okay, number 2. This one's going to Sam. Brother Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Coke versus Pepsi, or Link versus Gammon? Is that what you said?
I think it's the gist. I think Sam gets it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Ganon.
Gandon.
Sam does say that Pepsi is for sugar on it.
It has a lot more Pepsi. It has a lot more sugar in it. Yeah, which I don't know how they make it cheaper, even though it's got more Pepsi or more sugar in it. Yeah.
Wait, Sam.
Oh, this is a big one.
As much as I appreciate Legends of Zelda, I wouldn't fight someone over saying Pepsi is better. They burned Michael Jackson. Unforgivable.
What happened?
He was doing.
Oh, that's right. When he did that commercial,
Yeah,
and he got burned by the
hold on.
pyrotechnics.
Yeah, his hair caught on fire.
No. I thought he meant like just
Like a mad
like
burn.
they just burned him, like you didn't get your money or something.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
That's true.
Angie
Gosh,
said
Sam.
neither. Dr. Pepper all the way.
I'm with her.
But
I'm with
Megan
her.
says
That's-
Pepsi's horrible.
Yeah. Pepsi is horrible. Yeah.
Damn.
But Diet Pepsi. See, I think
Oh,
that
this is pulling it
I
off.
do think that these brands, it's just like any other brand of anything. It's like whatever you're most used to or what like you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just get like hooked onto that. Except for that Dr. Pepper is better than all these. that we
I
talked
believe
Yeah,
that.
Dr. Pepper.
Hands
That's
down.
its own thing. It's like a dessert in a can. It's yeah.
What's the
It's-
deal? What is that
Yeah.
about?
So Sam's going Coke versus Pepsi.
Fight for Coca-Cola, and I don't know why.
He got that skin.
Because Pepsi burnt Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Physically, is an issue.
I did not know about this.
Oh, Beck knows about Waterloo. Shout
What's
out
Waterloo?
to Waterloo. It's
I do not.
it's like a LaCroix
Oh,
or bubbly or whatever. It's just
is it a new one?
No, it's
Oh.
cheap.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or, I don't. It's probably the same price, but where I go, it's cheaper than like getting LaCroix.
Where do you
Like
go?
the Bubba Cola.
Rayleigh's.
Of the Coca- of the
Really? It's
LaCroix.
cheap at Rayleigh's? Jeez Louise. Damn. All right.
Rayleigh's was just
All right,
so
guys. This score is 5-4. Skip's in the lead. We have our number 1 pick right now. And I'm sorry to say, Skip never used her Switch. I didn't want to have to remind you.
I remembered and didn't tell her.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'm winning. I think it's fine, right?
But you could be dominating.
It's fine.
Not if Chris had anything to say about it.
It's all good. But yeah, now it comes back down to number 1, and this is one where Chris and I judge together, and we have to agree on it, or else we go
Insane.
insane. Now I can't even really remember the rules. What do we normally do? And Brian and I do this, and we judge it, and we
Are different.
don't agree. Then I think we go back to you guys. I think, and
I
you-
have confidence that we'll agree.
Okay. All right. I hope we agree. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
we have
out.
similar likes.
Yeah.
Rihanna,
Rihanna.
Roos, your dog,
Okay, cool. Rihanna, Roos. What else? Comedy spot.
comedy spot. The idea of coffee and naps.
Ooh, love it. Yeah, perfect.
Coffee
Okay.
naps.
I have a
Who's
hat. I'll
coffee
show you my hat. It just says coffee on it. Okay, so let's see number 1, and we will hear from Skip first.
Okay, this one was the only one I didn't get input from anyone on, particularly for this show. But as soon as I stepped into the comedy scene, I got input on it from everyone who had a friggin' voice, especially once I started hosting comedy shows and then started dating an introvert. Because what happens is, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but as a person who loves improv but does stand-up, they're kind of not always on the same page.
Oh.
So stand-up versus improv has been one of the largest rivalries in my existence in the past several years. Particularly, like I said, when I started hosting an open mic and people were like, oh, who's that guy? And they're like, oh, he does improv. And I'm like, yeah, he does. Wait, you guys said that different than I thought you would say it. And that's when I started to learn. That's when I started to learn. Or I would go to parties with this guy and some improv people, and they'd be like, oh, you do comedy? I do stand-up. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's comedy. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Wow.
It's so far as that I would walk out into a room full of stand-ups talking about improvisers. And one night somebody couldn't even contain himself, and he goes, "He's what do you call it? An improvert?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you have entire terms for improvisers." And this is, and I don't stand on either side of this. I didn't think it existed, and I do not support it as a rivalry, but it is deep and it is very in the hearts of people. And yeah, it's a huge part of my life. This one affects me greatly. As a person who does stand up and loves an improvert, it affects me a lot.
You're so brave. You're so brave. I just want to say, but this has been on my mind, and I've been trying to get more stand-ups on this show to bridge the gap. You know, we're all together. We're all doing it. We're all doing this thing together, man. And where else are you going to perform unless it's on a live stream?
Yeah.
So I think it's time for that rivalry to end.
We're here for it.
Yes. So that you guys can have a happy life together.
And I would like to say
the points tell me.
Improvisers are like nicer about stand-ups, but I don't think that's true.
That's not true.
It's not true.
The evidence I have gathered, no, it is not true, especially if people don't know I've done stand-up comedy.
But I will say that I think stand-up started it.
I don't know that we have evidence of that.
Stand-ups were first like improvisers are not cool, and then that offended us, and then we're like, no way, you're not cool, because we are cool. And then that's
I don't know. I feel like stand-ups were just like, I'm just gonna try improvising, and the improvisers were like, you're not good enough at this, you should get another hobby. And then we had to do stand-up. I don't know if none of this is fact. This is all conjecture. No one, I mean,
just want to say,
which came first?
Stand up over here.
Yeah. Stand up has been burned, but this is real. What do you call it? Inside baseball? What do they call it? We're just really talking shop here right now.
That's what.
But I think that improvisers can't understand like rehearsing or homework. Improvisers do not like homework.
No.
They do not like rehearsing.
No.
They do not like memorizing.
No.
And they don't like repeating sets. They don't like that stuff. So they cannot understand it.
That's so true. I remember the first time I got into comedy enough to where I could see the same stand-up multiple times.
Yeah.
And seeing that I was like, wait, you did that the last time I saw you. Those are the exact same words that you said before.
What the heck?
And feeling so offended and not realizing that's what polishing your set is or whatever.
Right.
So
it's the craft. It's like a real, it's all talent, but it is a real craft. It's like a real thing you are working on. And we don't get it because we're like, we get in trouble if we repeat jokes from last week, you know? It's not cool.
Literally, that's one of the things not to do.
And it works out awesome for me because I hear a joke and I'm like, dude, that joke, you nailed it this time. Loved it. That pun will never die. So I've got the energy for it. I'll take it. I'll take your same joke. I love improv.
I know. I like both. I really do appreciate both of them. I've been writing down stand-up jokes mainly about dogs, so I'll try that at some point.
I will try and put on a show.
All dog material.
Yeah.
So stupid, but I'll try it. I'll do it. I'll go to a little open mic in the park.
Okay, it's 7:13. I think we should hear Gilbert's number one.
All right.
Gilbert, what's your number one?
I'll throw it down. I know it's already been said, but my number one was cats versus dogs.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to emphasize the cat people, dog people situation too. It's not just the beasts themselves.
The beasts themselves.
It's the people who care for them and devote their lives to them, and just the animosity, the not understanding each other, what they need from. Like a cat person's like, this cat doesn't ever talk to me, but I love it to death. And this dog person's like, I need to rub this dog on my face constantly. And they just don't get each other.
All over my face.
They just don't get each other.
This is just a classic stand-up improv cat dog thing. I think dogs would be improvisers, cats would be stand-ups.
I agree. See, we have so much.
I think that you just are both saying that because you're dog people and improvisers.
Hey, to be fair,
Yeah.
to be fair, hold on. I just want to say, to be fair, cats don't like each other either. Cats don't like each other either.
Stand-ups, right?
Also, other stand-ups don't like each other either.
Right.
This is so hard. I do not even really know how to vote on this one.
Wait, did cats and dogs get on the list before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Number
they
5,
didn't.
right?
Star Wars versus Star Trek got on the list. Made it
that's
on
right.
the winning list. Cats and Dogs was.
That's correct.
I don't even know how this is gonna go. Honestly, I think because of time, we're just gonna have to give the point. We'll have to see how we vote. I say, Chris, let's just vote, and
Okay.
we're gonna figure it out. We're improvisers. We figure it out, baby.
Yeah, someone did say how it goes. The audience, Becky Tomlinson said,
Becky knows.
who I owe a shirt.
Oh,
Who-
audience votes.
I keep forgetting. Sorry. I still owe people DVDs too. In a shirt. I owe Becky a shirt. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
On the count of 3,
Okay.
we'll just vote.
Yeah. Okay.
One,
One,
goes.
2, 3.
Cats
Santa
vs.
versus
dogs.
dogs.
Dang it! I think that Cats vs. Dogs needs to be on the list. It's such
Because it was already on. You know what? You switched your vote earlier. I'll switch my vote. Let's do it. We're getting Cats v Dogs on this motherfucking list.
Yeah, it's the classic rivalry.
Guys, this means it was a tie game. 5-5.
Yeah. We're hilarious. We're very witty, very
Yeah.
insightful.
You did
People
great.
love us.
Equally.
And you've provided the longest top 10 list show ever.
I don't know.
recorded.
I don't know if I want to. I'm extraordinarily verbose. I don't think I should.
It's not your fault. It is positively my fault.
Yeah.
A little bit of Sarah's fault.
Once
for
you, like,
letting me
you-
lose.
I feel like I don't really know you that well. You don't know me, but your picks spoke to me so much that I just had to gab away about them. So that's what happened. Thank you both for being on. That was super fun, very fun list. Let's see who made it. Because sometimes Tim Crump asks, you got to give it to him. Sonic versus Dr. Robotnik. Goku versus Vagina.
Vagina, she just said it. She didn't even try.
Hannibal versus Scipio. Number 7, Catholics versus Lutherans. Number 6, New England Patriots versus Human Decency. Number 5, Star Wars versus Star Trek. Number 4, Caffeine versus Sleep. Number 3, Nintendo versus Sega. Number 2, Coke versus Pepsi. And number 1, Cats versus Dogs.
That's a good list.
Congratulations.
Mainly the Cats versus Dogs at number 1.
Yeah.
And Cats vs. Dogs, I'll have full disclosure, was the one that I saw on his list that I was like, oh, I shouldn't have seen that. And then I realized he had it at number 1, and I was like, oh, mine's at 5. She said we couldn't change it, though, so I didn't change it.
Oh, well, good. Thank you for honoring the
Yeah.
rules.
Very honorable.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone who watched. If you feel so inclined, stick around. I'll be hosting Snake Tank after this, and we have some really good players. And yeah.
Thank you to the
yes.
Patreons. Thank you to everyone that donates their time and money. Money is just as good as your time. Your time is great, but we also like money.
Money is good. Money is better.
Money, please.
Woo, woo, woo.
No, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You're all fantastic. We couldn't do these shows without y'all.
Crap money.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone, and have a swell Tuesday night. Bye.
Bye.